to the average Joe. We'll take you where you need to go. There's plenty of excitement here, so come explore with us. We can always show you something new, from theme parks to restaurant reviews. So join us at the Average Joe, Florida.
Hello folks, welcome to the Average Joe, Florida, coming today from the Kennedy Space Center here in Cocoa, Florida, over on the coast. We're going to tour around the visitor center today, see what's going on. There's supposed to be a launch tomorrow of the Dragon, but it's been pushed off till Friday now, but we're just going to walk around and see what we see. Take a look and bring you with us. So come along and join us. See you on the inside. Yeah, so they refer to that as a meatball. There's a giant fountain with President Kennedy on the front. And they renamed this from Cape Canaveral the Kennedy Space Center years ago in honor of President Kennedy. Here's a map of the entire complex and center. See it a little bit there. Feel free to pause your video. There's the Rocket Garden. An Apollo rocket garden back there. And there's the newer one in the middle there, the blue one. I'm not sure what that's supposed to be. It's like a mouth of a shark on it up there. Here's a sign that shows the exhibits they have here. Space Shuttle Atlantis, Heroes and Legends, Journey to Mars, NASA Now, Rocket Garden, Mars Rover Vehicle, Nature Technology, Space Mirror Memorial, Forever Remembered, and Step Power Launch. We're gonna head over towards Atlantis and do that first. There's a mural of the space station. And all the different contributing countries out front, their flags. It's pretty cool. This is a full-scale replica of the NASA's Orion spacecraft, a full-scale model. This is made by Lockheed, not SpaceX. This is what they want to, I believe, take to Mars, the Orion capsule. It's quite large, if you can see it from here. Astronauts in the windows. The docking ring. Yeah, it's pretty big. Same design as the old ones from the 60s, just a little larger in scale. And this is a Lego version of the Mars rover.
Oh, Legos.
Yeah, I believe it's Spirit and Ingenuity.
They work like that.
Spirit and Opportunity are on Mars. I think one of them has stopped communicating, the other's still there. And this is a Lego version of it. It's pretty cool. There's a sign for it, you can read about it. Pretty neat, Legos. Here's a full-scale replica of what's called the Stack from the old shuttle days. That's the external fuel tank and 2 solid rocket boosters, and they are huge. We're gonna walk right up to them and go see the Atlantis actual shuttle in this building, but it's pretty darn large. Not too busy here today. I've seen a lot more people. I'm not sure what capacity is. They told me it's 35%. I'm not sure how many people they normally let in though, but we'll see, but it's not too bad.
No, it's really kind of nice. Not too hot.
Yeah, no, it's a little bit of
yet.
a breeze. Not yet, at least. It's not too bad.
It's only 11, so.
Yeah, it's early. Space Shuttle Atlantis, let's go see it. These are massive. When you see these on TV, you don't realize just how big they actually stinking are. There's a typical person over there near one. See how he is compared to that booster, the size. And that gentleman on the ground taking pictures all the way up. That's incredible, huh? I'm standing right under it now. The scale, the massive scale, you don't realize just how big this stinking thing is. Look at that. Right under the fuel tank. How do you launch a revolution? You just walked under the power behind a groundbreaking space transportation system, STS. Let you read the rest of that. The external fuel tank at launch is emptied in 8.5 minutes.
Anyone know why we're here? For this. We're going to create America's next spacecraft. It's going to launch like a rocket and land like an airplane, and it's going to be reusable. Can't do that with a
NASA's first manned test flight ever flown into space with people on board.
Atlantis, welcome home.
Yep, the Hubble's Treasure. That's Atlantis, she's on the side. The Canada arm, the little arm. So a mock-up of the Hubble telescope over here and the size of that.
We appreciate all of you being here today. This is the real thing right here. That's the real Space Shuttle orbiter named Atlantis. Now, I mentioned that it's called an orbiter. That's because that's the technical name for this thing with the wings here. It's the orbiter vehicle. The word shuttle comes when you take an orbiter and you hook it up with like those fuel tanks that you saw outside, the big orange tank and the white tubes right out front.
There's an up-close look at Atlantis. Her rescue door, escape door. There's a really up-close look at her cargo bay doors. You never get this close, that's for sure. I mean, it's literally just 3 feet away, you can see it. And her cargo bay. Canada arm. That's pretty cool. See all the latches. There we go. I backed up a little bit, give you a better shot. Yeah, these doors are only meant to be opened in space. That's why they have to have them held up. They would fall right off. The hinges would break if they really opened these, not the support they have on them here. They just weigh so much. They're not meant to be opened in gravity. Yeah, that's true. They were the first. See the wings in here? They may say, why are the wings dirty? Why are the tiles dirty? And that's a NASA tradition. When they relaunch them, they never clean them. They want to take the history of what happened with them in the next flight. And Elon has done the same thing with the Dragon capsules now. When he relaunches those rockets, they don't clean them. They still have the soot and the dust and the dirt and the fire damage on them. As long as they're flyable, they leave it for the history. And this is the space toilet that they used. Waste collection systems. Everything's on display here. A mock-up of the interior of the shuttle, the controls, the joystick, the more control panel over here. There's an elevated shot. Ailerons, the tail. So you can see some dirty tile there. There's a good shot of it actually. There we go. Okay. It's impressive, isn't it? It's large. Just on the end of the Canada arm, mock-up display. Better than designer shades. The shuttle was left-handed. I'm guessing that's where the placement of the robot arm was. All right, so we're in a mock-up of the cockpit with the pilot station on the left. This is Average Joe is going to fly us. And on the right is the mock-up of the commander's seat with a split in the middle just to get in and out. Now, can you fly us?
I can fly you.
Now, we've flown the Millennium Falcon over at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Is this similar?
It is.
You did pretty good flying the Millennium Falcon, actually.
Yes.
So this is pretty close. It's all glass cockpit. Heads-up displays.
It has all the buttons.
All the buttons and switches. Hyperspace is on there somewhere, I think. Joystick. And you've got foot pedals.
Joystick is not moving.
One's the gas, one's the brake, and one's the clutch, if you know that. It's not an automatic, it's definitely a manual transmission.
Nothing changes here.
No, these are simulated glass screens. You can see some sort of space monsters walking out there beyond the window. There's control panels everywhere. You can shoot at the space monsters with your laser beams. I don't know if they have those in the or not, but and you can get invaded. We're being invaded by a space monster now. So it's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
There's switches and dials and everything anywhere. And behind us is the engineer's console. This is where they control the robotic Canada arm from. So there's a joystick back here. Pyros. And This is the last satellite of the Space Shuttle era. This is Picosat. The tiny satellite, PSSC-2, was the 180th and final satellite launched by Space Shuttle. It's like the size of a loaf of bread. I don't know exactly what it did, but it's tiny. And there's a picture of it actually on the shuttle. All right, now this is the rocket side. Those are the engines on the Shuttle Atlantis here. There's the tail. Look at that angle. You can see the tail way up there. It's huge. And these all gimbal. These could all direct as necessary individually, these rockets with these engines. Is this supposed to simulate the feeling of something?
22 degrees is the
angle.
The same angle on this slide, which is the same as when the shuttle came in.
Oh man, they came in that sharp. I knew she would come in fast. I told you it was that.
3 miles to length.
You want to go down?
Do you want to go down? I'll go down.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Go ahead.
Touchdown.
Go ahead. You can do it. Whee! Okay, now we're below the shuttle. See the wing up close here. The reinforced carbon on the ends here. These are actual tires from the Space Shuttle. These flew on STS-135. Made by Michelin. And there's the size on the side, just like a car tire. 46.25 by 16.8 by 21.5. These are real tires.
Oh, they're hard. They just have no tread.
No, there's air in them.
So these are the actual tires. Michelin Air.
There's a scrub where it hit the runway.
That's where it hit the runway, at the speed.
the
That's where it hit the runway. There it is. So these are an STS-135. Each tire is designed to take 3 times the load of a 747 tire. The intense impact of a Space Shuttle landing meant that each main landing gear tire could be used only 1 time. Nose landing gear tires are used twice.
Because of that.
Because look at that, where it hits the runway. These tires are designed with minimal tread in order to save weight. Clearly, every ounce counts in a space flight. Here's just a quick example of the seats they sit in for takeoff and landing. Not very comfortable looking, are they? They're very minimalistic. They do their job. And there is the NASA transport van, or the Astro van. They've been using this since back in the Apollo days. They have modern ones. Now Elon actually takes his guys out in Teslas. They take the Tesla X out. Yeah, the Astro van. I can see in the back of it over here. Very 60s looking. Extremely 60s looking. This is the memorial rooms for the Challenger and the Columbia, the 2 shuttles that were lost. They have personal effects from the 14 astronauts, as well as some remnants of those 2 shuttles. So we're going to take you there and show you that now. All these items were donated by the families. These are the Columbia astronauts. Here's a doctor. Yeah, 7, I think. The LED lights are giving off a pulsing sensation. I don't know if you can see it on camera or not. I'm sorry if you can. Leon Ramon.
Reach out in his pocket.
And now these are actual parts of the 2 shuttles. This is Columbia on the right. Her windows recovered in East Texas. They recovered 40% of the orbiter. And this is the piece of Challenger. If you go on YouTube, there's a great video of the NASA personnel who chose these pieces to put on display and why he chose these pieces. an actual Saturn V rocket, the largest rocket ever made. 5 giant engines on the back. It's on its side all the way down. It is huge. It is massive. It's hard to describe the immense size of it. You see right inside one of the engine bells here. The rocket went to the moon with. See the size over here? They have a hologram at gym level. You can ask him questions and he answers. It's incredible.
It's exploration.
Isn't that neat?
Those flights and they're just momentary missions. And,
he would get really tired if he stands there all day and just answered questions for people.
Be very comfortable.
He'd get hungry.
Flying to the moon and back again.
Here's the engines on the side. It's incredible.
And expanding it. And eventually go to Mars. Where can I go to Mars?
And there's the second stage. It's incredible. And that first stage will drop off. And then the second stage rockets will ignite. That's a huge machine. Dr. Harrison Hayden Schmidt, exploring a valley on the moon. That's a statue to him. And here's the third stage of the Saturn V with just one little rocket engine on it. And it gets up there to the front, to get the front out of the moon. That's pretty cool, huh? It's massively huge. And here is a full-size lunar lander underneath the front of the Saturn V. This is the part that would have gone to the moon, would have had the lander and everything in it. And there's the capsule up front, which would have brought them back. And there's the lander right there underneath it. And walk on the moon. There's the ladder. And the hatch. And that would have taken off and put them back up into space to get back on the capsule. Going through the projection curtain. You're melting into the corn. Bye! Field of Dreams. Very cool. They used to have something like this in Pirates of the Caribbean on Disney, but they got rid of it.
Smoke the news.
A shot of the Saturn V looking this direction. Near the capsule. Footsteps on the moon. I walk on the moon, and I turn around, and I leave my footprint. I'm leaving footprints on the moon. This is an actual piece of moon rock you're allowed to touch, right?
It was collected by astronaut Jack Schmidt near the Apollo 17 lunar module landing site. The rock weighs 17 grams and is a fragment of a much larger original sample.
And there's the lunar module cockpit interior. It housed all controls necessary to maneuver the vehicle during descent, ascent, and docking. There's the lunar rover. Piano wire tires, lawn chair seats. Not much was needed just to get him around a little bit.
A lot of cameras.
Cameras and satellite dish, like an inverted umbrella. Moon boots and helmet and the moon suit. That's cool. Here's the actual Apollo capsule from Apollo 14. All preserved and on display here.
Look at all those gears on the door.
I know that's the redesigned hatch.
Just,
Technology they have today replaced most of the mechanics back then. See the scorching and the heat shield on the sides when it comes back to the atmosphere, it really heats up. It gets burned and scorched really bad. This is Alan Shepard's suit. His actual suit. All the dust and dirt on his shoes still. And I won't go through each one, but there's an entire line of suits here. Here's a prototype of the proposed Mars rover vehicle. We'll get to Mars. Very futuristic looking.
It comes apart.
Yeah.
So,
It breaks it into two pieces. Like the truck end will leave it, and the little navigator vehicle can drive around. Or it can hook back up.
it's like a payload.
Yeah. It's got those hollow wheels that can't blow out on you. Weight on Earth is 5,500 pounds. Weight of Mars is 2,090 pounds. 0.3 of the weight on Earth. It's hard to close Mars rover. That's cool. There we go, there's a front-on shot of it. Those wheels are cool, the indestructible wheels. This is just a prototype, of course. It'll change 100 times over before it actually happens. It's almost like a movie prop. You can see all the different constellations on there. Wild duck cluster.
Hercules.
Yeah.
Libra,
I mean, Conch,
Virgo.
Hydra, Corvus, the Leo crater. You spinning the ball?
Yeah.
It's 10,215 pounds that ball weighs, and it's being held up by 250 pounds of water. And you were spinning it with your hand.
Yep, and it's still spinning.
That's pretty cool. So that's going to wrap up our visit here today to the Kennedy Space Center at Cape Canaveral, and we had a good time.
Yes.
The shuttle was absolutely cool, seeing the Atlantis. That was really, really, really neat. So it's been a long time since we've been here. We hope you enjoyed it, taking you around, showing you around a little bit. If you like that, you want us to do more things, let us know. Put some suggestions down below. What do you want us to do? What do you want us to go see? We certainly will. And with that, we're going to wrap it up. Take care of yourselves, folks. And remember, subscribe, give us a thumbs up, share us on social media, and don't be average.